the clown car. It's funny. We're in the opening credits of the next administration, and it's the worst movie I've ever seen. Only in the opening credits of this administration. This woman wanted to help you get 25 grand for your first house and 50 grand to start a small business. This dude wants to deport the Hispanics that voted for him. You know,
This song is.
It's the beginning of every Three Stooges short.
It's so I'm laughing out loud every time this announcement happens because it's literally he's just choosing like what other reality TV person is he going to pick for a position in the fucking government?
But we're not even. I only listed a few, but Peter Hegseth. I was just brought up something from Peter Hegseth. Peter Hegseth.
He was a Fox News host.
He's done military.
Right,
but he's in the military.
And he's got a tattoo of "We the People" on his forearm that he
You mean "We the People"?
By the way, you know who he's hiring to run basically the law enforcement? What's the branch of the law enforcement under Matt Gaetz? The cop from the cop from the Village People. Yeah, he's going to be running that now. I want to point out something that happened last week. David Shatter, Ray was at her sister's our last podcast. I'm sorry I didn't do a podcast last week. I had my best friend died, and we have to go to the funeral on Monday, and it was a really rough week, and I had so I think my soul had been already sucked out of me by the election, and then it got sucked out until there was no soul left. But Resist Ideology on Instagram cut a clip of our podcast together and showed.
Oh, no shit.
You're on it. Shatra's on it. I'm on it. Yeah,
that's real nice.
For like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Well, convenient.
See what happens when Ray doesn't show up? I think that
that podcast did very well, I think.
That's about right, given today's world.
Hey, the woman's gone. Let's watch now. That goes to the election.
Right.
Next guest, Andrew Tate.
So, yes, Shatra. Yes, Shatra's in the Andrew Tate area. But it was a great podcast, and
Was it great?
We talked. Well, Shatra. We talked about tariffs and went after it really hard, and they cut the whole thing together about how it was our podcast. I'm like, why is someone with 150,000 followers on Instagram putting our podcast? It's cool. I was like, all right,
hey, go for it.
And here's what I want to talk about before we go any further. We will always tell you the truth. You know, I'm watching the news. I'm listening to Katie Tour. I've never heard someone fucking spin themselves up. By the way, try to get me to stop saying the F word. To spin themselves up and twist themselves to go. They're like some guy, they were a pundit. Again, the news is not the news. It's just pundits. We're going to tell you what's going on. We're going to tell you what they did. We're about to go through the clown car people that he's nominating and tell you what they're about and what they've done. But I remember when I was growing up, Dan Rather, Walter Cronkite, not when I was growing up, I wasn't around, but Dan Rather, and they said, here's the news. And they would tell you the facts about the news. And now it's just about, what do you think? And then some guy said, here's what Katie Tur did. Some guy gets on and he goes, what I think is what's going to happen is these people are so unqualified to a person. Yeah. Every single one of them is the least qualified to run the biggest government on the planet, a division of that government, that this is going to come apart quite well and very quickly. They said very quickly, we're going to see problems and people are going to go, wait, what did we vote for? And Katie Tur on MSNBC goes, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. It's going to take quite a while for it to unravel. It could go pretty well. And I was like, what kind of chaos agent are you? We have zero evidence that this man has ever accomplished anything. Again, I'll say it. He failed at selling food, water, and vodka. He actually had steaks. He had Trump water and vodka. They all failed. He had an airline. Failed. He had a football team. Failed. He tried to start his own football league. Failed.
You know what else failed? A charity.
Yeah.
How do you fail a charity?
He bought pictures of himself.
I know how. I'm just saying.
He didn't fail. He stole from it.
The money.
He
just then stole it.
He didn't fail. He got the money.
I'm saying
he just didn't give it to the starving kids with cancer.
Starting a business. There's risk involved, right? You have to raise money. You have to put it. You're taking a risk. When you start a charity, you're just going to collect it and give it. There's not a risk there.
You have a party a couple times a year, and you give a lot, and people give you checks, and then what happens? Well, you spend the money on pictures of yourself. And then you let your kids buy cars. So now the entire family cannot be on the board of any charity in New York. They're like, hey, you suck so bad, you can't give them money away. That's how bad you suck. You can't you're such an evil prick. You can't give money to people.
But you can be president.
Yeah.
Twice. Jesus Christ!
See, and I just got my soul sucked out of me again.
You have a lot of souls.
I didn't
play
even
cat.
He does, doesn't he? That's 3 so far,
He
right?
regenerates
1, 2,
them?
3.
3.
Yeah, like a liver. He regenerates souls.
Yes. After the first ad, a little bit more soul will be back.
So what happened? So people don't watch the news anymore. The only reason I watch it now is to get what's going on, and then I do a deep dive to figure out what's really going on.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, you guys want the news every week? Come here and tell people, because I am we will always give it to you the truth. And 2 people that comment all the time. You read the comments all the time?
I never do. I don't have any idea.
It's
opinions.
Good.
I don't want opinions.
Well, no, it's this one. Everything you said's a lie. You got Trump derangement syndrome. Everything you said's a lie. And you know what they never do? Guess what they never do when they say I've lied about it?
Give facts
Counter.
to the contrary.
Yeah, counter anything. Give me any kind of, there's stuff they said that didn't happen. We literally have video. We put on the podcast video of him saying it. They're like, that didn't happen. That's him. That's him saying it.
I put timestamps in certain things to match it up. And then when they ask, and you ask them directly.
When you enter the comments,
nothing. And it's like, crickets.
They never do. And also, anybody weird name and 4 numbers?
Yeah,
Russian.
yeah.
That's Russian bot. I'm sorry.
Isn't it weird how we've moved past that, though? Do you remember how we were so aware in the first 4 years of Russian bots and that whole thing, Schlegel 45709 or whatever? And now that has sort of become just part of it. Yep. I don't even think of, when you just said that, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Yep.
There's a whole bunch of them in St. Petersburg in a windowless building, just cranking out, pictures of Trump with pecs or whatever.
Yeah. Well, you know what I started doing now is not what I'll do is someone writes something heinous to me on whether it's Threads or Blue Sky, which I'm on now. Or even the YouTube channel, I go check first. I go 3 followers. Delete.
Yeah.
If someone's like, it's not the only time you ever get a good response, it's usually someone with between 5,000 and 8,000 followers who's trying to make a point about what if they don't like Biden, they will do. Oh God, some guy. You ever see someone on our comment section? And by the way, I answer you guys a lot. So if it's good, great. If it's not, I usually answer the people that are just out of control wrong.
Do you read all of them?
No, I go, I scroll down probably. I always go to the recents and just look at them to see, because it'll tell you, it's like it's like doing a comedy club. You know if a joke's good or not instantly.
It's either a bot or
that's the worst part of it. I don't know why you think that's a good thing.
Oh, because I want to see.
Knowing that your joke was bad instantly is actually the worst part of doing comedy.
That's true.
And you're like, no, this is why I do it. It's the same thing as that heinous horror.
I just know the next show I'm not going to do that joke like that. I'm going to rewrite it. There's been times I've done jokes where I'm like, I know this is funny, and I've beat on it for 6 months till I figured it out.
Yeah.
There's some jokes that I've held on to way past their expiration date. And sometimes I hit it. 90%, if I stick with it long enough, I'll figure out why it's my initial thought was funny.